Morning. Happy 4th of July. A couple ground rules for you. We've got IEPs and maps up here. If you've got radios, pagers, cell phones on, please turn down the radios. Everything else in stun mode. We'll start out with a briefing on what happened yesterday and last night. Ops Chief Jeff Brand.
We'll kind of run it into what's happened and what is going to happen. Quickly, we still are in our priority mode to button this series up down here, and we're looking down here, simultaneously concentrating our efforts up here in the Red Mountain area in Branch 4. Also at Branch 4, we're identifying some contingency plans and whatnot, and what we're going to do out in this area. This will be one of our issues today, to get out there and really look at that. The fires are getting active up here in the northeast corner of Branch 1. The Travis incident has now grown to about 719 acres. So it's up in, it's come out of the line a little bit. Pork fire is holding its own. What we need to do today is we're going to get out there and hit those smaller ones. We're still concentrating on the smaller ones also simultaneously as we can. The weather is changing. The IMET will give you an update on that. Today is pretty much the cool day, and then we're going to turn it around real quick. So our concern is the obvious. As we heat up, the fires may get active. So do not lay your guard down, please. Today is that transitional day. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Overall, yesterday was a pretty tranquil day as this marine push pushed into the area. Today, I see very similar conditions to what we saw yesterday. As you can tell, the west winds are kind of already up this morning. I don't see them increasing too much throughout the day. I see west winds about 6 to 8 miles an hour, occasional gusts, maybe up to 15. So not too impressive of speeds. Cool, moist conditions. Humidity should stay above 30%, even in the further inland branches for the majority of the day. Out towards the coast, the coastal branches, they're all pretty well fogged in this morning, including some of the valleys on the inland branches. The fog should recede probably a little bit later today, probably not until about noon or so. So that should have an effect on the air operations. So overall, just kind of a cool, moist day. A little bit of winds, but not too big of a concern. The main concern is looking ahead. Tomorrow we start warming up, and then by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, it's downright hot and dry. I added an extra little extended outlook on the bottom of my forecast to draw your attention to that. In the valleys, we're going to be 100 degrees. Up in Covelo in the hotter areas, easily 102, 103, and dry as well. And the heat's going to extend out into the coastal branches. They'll be right around 90 degrees even towards the coast. So hot, dry conditions. So basically, get ready for that and enjoy the cool, moist day today.
Due to your good work and the high humidities yesterday, we had very little fire activity. I expect the same thing today. The probability of emissions out here in the coast due to the high humidities will be just 30 to 40%. The spottage should not be significant. East of 101, the probability of emissions are going to be just right around 50%. So they're right at the threshold. So we can expect some fire activity out here. However, I don't expect any significant fire growth. My biggest concern is all those unburnt islands within the perimeters. And as things heat up over this next week, those unburnt islands are going to come to life. There's no doubt about it. And so today would be a really good time to start assessing where these unburnt islands are adjacent to your line. The winds this next week are going to be westerly and mostly upslope. And so where these westerly winds and the topography are in alignment, and you have unburnt islands right there, and you have really weak slack along that edge, you could have some issues. You will have issues. And so today, we're going to get after it, but I also suggest that everyone really take a hard look at where those unburnt islands are and start to develop some plans of what you're going to do with them later on this week. Thank you.
As we go into the weekend, our 3-day weekend here, things are going to ratchet up. As been pointed out, the weather is changing. Temperatures are going to start to increase. Traffic's going to increase on the road. roads, especially all the main thoroughfares through the county. So have your troops drive defensively and keep a watch out. And with the fireworks are illegal in this county. They're illegal in Sonoma County too, except for in a few municipalities, but they're still around, floating around. People are still using them, so keep an eye out for that. Report any activity. Report any new starts that you see. We want to try to support the local unit too in terms of suppression. Okay, thanks.
Page 39 of your IEP, there's a list of missing resources that haven't been through check-in. Most of them are local government. If you happen to see them out there, run into them, ask them please to come in to check-in. And with air operations, Chris Avenant.
Today we have 16 helicopters out there on the fire. On a safety message that I'd like to give you is if you're having them drop on your fire, try to pull your crews back and don't direct them so much as come left, come right. Let them come in, make the drop, and then give them their critique if you need them to move over. I want to reduce the amount of hover time over these smokes. So if you can pull your crews back, let them drop, and then go in and work them out after they've dropped.
For branch 5, the Sugarloaf fire is now assigned NIFC TAC 4. So that's the change in the comp plan. It doesn't show up. Branch 5 has got NIFC TAC 4 for the Sugarloaf fire. Also, when branch 3 is done with the ore fire, we're going to move the NIFC Command 1 Tone 1 repeater to another fire for tactical use. That's all.
And today, Rich Bone with Finance. Thank you, Alan. Ship tickets are pouring into us, that's great. However, we do have questions on a lot of them, and the government person is not printing their names. We have no idea who to ask those questions of. So let's print your name below your signature, and if you're real nice, to put your phone number down there so we can call you. And we need to get evals going on the vendors also.
Public information, today Jim Doucette.
Good morning. Not a whole lot to talk about other than the media now is starting to turn their interest to human interest stories. So don't be surprised if you find yourself talking to somebody, they want to know where you're from and what you do and stuff like that. So try your best just to accommodate them. We'll try to have people out there with them, so don't fear the camera. Other than that, all the public that we've been running into, they really appreciate the job you guys are doing, and they just want us to get that message out. Thank you. Be safe.
Okay, when we wrap up here, branch 3 resources up here for your briefing, and unassigned resources under the tree with John Griffin. Closing remarks, our IC, Joe Waterman.
Good morning, all. I have a bit of sad news to close today with, and it really saddens me. So when things like this happen, I have to go with a written script. So I'm just going to read from you some occurrences that happened early yesterday morning, right from our press release. Anderson Valley Volunteer Fire Department, Mendocino County Sheriff, and CalFire today released the following statement regarding the death of volunteer firefighter recruit Bob Rowland, 63, of Anderson Valley, California. Mr. Rowland suffered respiratory distress on the afternoon of July 2nd while working on the Oso fire, located approximately 9 miles northwest of the community of Boonville. Mr. Rowland was transported to Ukiah Valley Medical Center, where he passed away during the early morning hours of July 3rd, 2008. All Mendocino County Fire Services and supporting agencies extend their deepest sympathy to the family of Mr. Rowland. It's requested that all flags be lowered to half-staff and badges shrouded in honor of Mr. Rowland's sacrifice. So, command staff and the unit's deepest sorrow and sadness, and our heartfelt prayers and thoughts go out to the department, Mr. Rowland's co-workers, and family, of course. And with that, I'd like to respectfully have a moment of silence for his sacrifice. Thank you. You folks have a safe day.